Da-na-na. Da-na-na. Hey man, we back, man.
Season 4. You see it? Well, it's over there. It's over there. Yeah, season 4.
Get there. Bam, season 4.
We hear you. Another season. Hey, man, we've been doing this thing for a good little minute. You know, as we was going through our hiatus, I was thinking about the new season, and I went all the way back to our first 2 episodes, man. And wow, come a long way.
First one was on your porch, man, with the lawn, with your neighbor cutting his grass.
Somebody cutting grass, then it started raining, and like it was just.
It did rain. We got a little bit of everything. Everything tried to ruin that.
Yeah. Hey, look, the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. And that day we got everything else.
A lot of everything else. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be back, man. Glad to be back for season 4. Glad to do this again. Glad to be able to try to explore some new cigars and just have a good time smoking these bad boys and just chopping it up with my guy.
Yeah. Hey, man. You know, let's not get into that. That's cigar talk. I don't want to get into cigar talk, man.
Not yet. Don't give it to him yet. Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll shift things too much, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right.
We had a little talk a little earlier, though. We were kind of talking about a little bit of life situations and whatnot, man. You know, just from the financial end of things, about how people are never satisfied with a number, regardless of what your number is in your bank account, man. Right. And you know, you made a great point with that when you were talking about it. I think we were originally talking about how is there a number that really makes you feel like life is all good to go? And I said I didn't necessarily have a number, but there was a part of me that felt like maybe there is a number and I just ain't figured it out. But when you say that shifts my perspective, because people don't know when to quit, man. You get a lot of these people out here, man, they just keep hustling. They get a bill, they keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just let you know
everybody at every financial level always wants the next level up. Even the person who's the richest person in the world, they still want a level. They want another level up. Like, what keeps somebody grinding for so long and doing certain things? As a matter of fact, I was watching Mark Cuban. He was doing some kind of interview on somebody's podcast, and he's getting into the healthcare industry and trying to help with affordable healthcare, right? And they asked him, "Why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And what's the?" And he was like, "Because I'm rich." He said, "I'm rich AF, right? I'm just rich, so I just want to do some other things." It was like, dude, at what point do you get so rich that you want to just stop and just do nothing? Like all these billionaires, multi-billionaires who are 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and they just keep wanting to grind and do more things. Like, you don't sit down. No matter how rich you are, you just try to explore other ways of doing other things and find a way to make more revenue. No matter how much more money you got and how old you are, you don't sit down. There's no quit.
Is it a individual thing, or is it literally something that just clicks in people where it's the competitiveness?
I think it's a human thing.
Just humans in general. It's not those specific people, but any of us would be like that probably in those circumstances. Yeah.
I think for the ones that do have to quit, it's the ones who don't got no money, right? So you have that two great polarizing factors when you got somebody who's homeless and look like they just gave up on themselves, right? They're like, I can't get no money. So if I can't get no money, I ain't gonna get no money. But then once you start getting money, you want more money, and you just go this way. So it's like I don't know. I think it's just a human thing, man. Something clicks in us, and just also, we gotta get more.
I think it also has to have something to do with these opportunities. Has to be easy enough to do. You know, not necessarily that they're falling in their lap, but you're not in a. It can't be too. It got to be not too stressful for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because us with regular jobs, people who have regular jobs, we tend to think if I get the chance to get out the game, I'm out the game, and I just want to relax and chill.
Yeah.
But they don't feel that way at that level. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be like a easier thing to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like it doesn't run them off where they want to just take some time off and be done with the game. Like
maybe not, or the idea of the fact that they know how to make it happen. Like for somebody like myself, right? I feel like there's a ceiling on how much money I'll probably end up making in my entire life, right? So how long am I going to be willing to chase what it is I'm chasing? Or do I just set my sights on a certain plateau and just hit that plateau and ride it out? That's kind of like how my mindset is because I don't feel like I'm going to get to $400 billion. It's just not it's just not in my grasp. I don't think I wouldn't mind if it is. But I think once you get to a certain point, so like somebody who makes that $1 million, it's like, oh, I made $1 million. Okay, it was a climb, but I know how to make it. I can make it again. And I think it becomes a chase and a challenge for them. Not necessarily that it's easy, because a lot of those billionaires who make the money, I think it's hard before it gets easy. So they go through the hard, and then it becomes easy to replicate it and make more money, make more revenue. But you have to go through a breaking of what was difficult for them. I don't know if it's necessarily easy, because if it was easy, a lot of people would be finding their ways to millions and billions of dollars.
Well, not easy in terms of that, but just easy is in terms of the toll that it takes on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
it would have to, I would think. But you see some people, they'll grind themselves until they ain't got nothing left in them, only because they want to go get it. But I think once you start getting some luxuries, it does become easy.
Because Warren Buffett, at his age, if it was hard, he wouldn't be. He don't got enough energy to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in theory,
80 plus, it's time to sit down. Most of your grandparents and great grandparents are gonna sit down at that age. They tired.
They tired. You know what I'm saying? So
they taking naps on the recliner in the middle of the day, 10 naps a day,
and he probably do too. You know what I'm saying? But
he making money while you taking
done with that. Is what I'm thinking.
So
who gonna tell Warren he can't take his nap? You know what I'm saying?
Money still being made. Nap,
but I don't know. But it's an interesting concept, man. I guess I'm too much of an employee to really grasp it. But a lot of very wealthy people say that your first million is your hardest, and then after that, I think that's when it
becomes easier to replicate it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, we're not the View right now. We're not the View. we're the ones looking up at the View in Marvel. We're not the View.
That's true. That is true. People ain't gonna get that one, but yeah. It's good to be the View. People always admire, you know what I'm saying, having a nice view, but you want to be what people view.
You want to be the View. You want to be what people are viewing.
The View. Yeah,
man. So hopefully we'll get to see what the other side looks like and know what it is that we can have that perspective. But we're looking at it from the poor man's perspective, quote unquote. Not necessarily poor, but you know.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The working class perspective.
Yeah.
But man. But here we are though. So
we've been talking about the concept of being on the wrong side for a long time, man.
For decade plus. For a decade plus. But here's the thing.
I don't know if you ever get to the right side though.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think that you'll ever get to there's always another side that people want to get to. You on this side, like, dang, and you look at the next side, you're like, hold on, wait, what they got going on? I'm on the wrong side. You get to that side, then there's another view of another side. You look at it like, oh, and that's probably the driving force. It makes people want to get more and get more and get more.
Yeah.
Because they see the other side and the eyes get big and starry-eyed and stuff. It's like, yo, I think I want that.
You know, imagine having $100 million and still feeling like you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Which is very plausible. You know what I'm saying? It's an idea. We can't
fathom it, but there's several 100 millionaires who look at a billionaire and be like, I gotta get on that side. And then that's that person with 1 or 2 billion. They looking at that somebody with 40 billion. They're like, I gotta get to that side.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah. And it sounds crazy, but I believe there's a huge difference between having 200 million and having 1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
know, it's more than just the fact that it's triple your income. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother level of respect that's garnered in the way you can move.
Yeah,
outside of finances. Just
like imagine having $100 million and getting looked down on like you ain't nothing. by somebody with a Billy. Like, bro, you ain't there yet. You ain't got these.
You got a long ways to go before you can walk in this door. Like, life crazy like that, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what's not crazy is the fact that we smoking these cigars. We want to talk about what we smoking today. Are we ready for the stars of the show yet?
Yeah, man.
Are we there
Let's
yet?
go ahead and jump into it.
Okay. So
I didn't sneak a peek to see what you got. So what we got?
lounge exclusive.
Yeah.
I like that name. I ain't seen that before. Hold on now.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
Bam. Come on. Focus. It looked like every other one except it say lounge exclusive on the bottom band.
Okay.
Same exact band.
Okay. You know, we were just talking about before we came on was like, man, we should be in the lounge by season 4. We should be in the lounge right now, smoking these sticks while we do our show.
Yeah.
Man showed up with the lounge exclusive.
Yeah,
lounge
man.
Exclusive. I like that.
Lounge exclusive. Let me see if I can get you run through some specs on this lounge exclusive. Do I see it? Do I see it? Tell me I got it. Yeah, there you go, right there. So we got a Nicaraguan with everything except for the wrapper, which is Ecuadorian Habano. So everything Nicaraguan on this. And my price point on this cigar was actually got a receipt today. $15, $16 after taxes. And
man, go ahead. So go ahead.
Now say that because I'm about to vent real quick now that we're on the subject.
I was about to say shout out to my fathers for keeping them price points perfect.
Yeah.
Nice with the price points. They keep them in that range, man.
Yeah, it's a good price point, man. Now, it's my cigar gripe for 2026 so far, which is always an older gripe, but this one hit me today. It was bothering me because when you're looking for your cigar, that is a very personal, private, intimate moment. Especially when I'm looking for my show stick. I'm in there, I'm like, I don't know what my face look like. I'm studying, I'm looking at everything, seeing what makes sense. If this is the vibe for the day, what's pulling me in and talking to me. I'm looking for something new that I ain't had before. I'm looking, what's the brand? There's a lot of things going through my head.
Yeah. It's layered experience.
We always say we want to be left alone, right? And Garcon left me alone, but I'm in this deep zone. It's just me and cigars at this moment. The cash register is behind me. I got my back to it. I'm looking at the wall over here. And I finally conclude my decision. I grab it. I turn around and Garcon is posted up, leaned against the cash register, watching me the whole time. And when I come back to my present moment and I'm like, realize there are other people in the room, I immediately become infuriated with Garcon. Like, why are you staring at me, bro? Like,
come on, man. Let me have my privacy right now.
Let me have my moment, bro. Why you just staring like a creep at me? Let me buy this cigar and leave me alone, man. Like when I need you, pretend to do something else while I look for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretend you reorganizing the humidor or something. Like you got something to do in here.
That's one thing I never understood, right? So customer service is important, and your customer service, you should be attentive to your customers. But if you've been in the game long enough, you should be able to see who's a novice, somebody who doesn't know what they're looking at, versus somebody who you can tell that's in the moment of really trying to make a connection with the cigars. Like if I go in the humidor and I'm walking around, I can kind of see that guy kind of knows what he's looking for, or you know what I'm saying? Like you know who has been in this for a while and how they tend to like to shop for their cigars. If you work in a humidor, you should know how to pick up on that body language. You should be able to know that guy he's having his moment right now. We know what this is versus somebody who's just like they look like they're lost and they're trying to figure it out. Maybe because it's their first time in the humidor, or maybe they're trying to buy a cigar for somebody else. But if you know, you got to know, man. You got to know.
Yeah, I don't mind you being nearby at my beckoning call. But don't just watch me, bro. Like, because it was weird because I was literally zoned out. And when I came back to reality, you were watching me, and I didn't like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be that type of. You got to be a good garçon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to know.
Be ready to jump into action and to be there at your service whenever you need them. But other than that, you stay out the way. Stay out the way,
man.
You know
look somewhere else. Pretend to look somewhere else.
Yeah. Pretend to move.
Be on your phone. I don't care.
Shelves.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
pretend to organize the shelves or something. Do something else.
Yeah, man. Go dust something, man. I don't care, but
it's all opinion.
All opinion. It's like, man. Did I make the right decision? Shoot, the way you staring at me.
Let me play garçon advocate. Maybe he was in the moment with you. Maybe he was excited for you as you were like, oh man, where's he gonna go? Maybe it was a show for him. Maybe he was intrigued by watching a cigar smoker make his choice. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he
Animal
Planet. He could have zoned out himself, and maybe he wasn't staring at me directly, and he just was zoned out in that direction. You know, I don't know, but it's just for me.
He was drawn to your
when
process.
I come back to reality, and you the first thing I see, and just that's weird for me. It's like, yo, I feel like you just invaded my privacy in my moment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
If don't watch me when I'm with my girl and we having a moment. You know what I'm saying? Don't peek through the blinds at me. I felt like he peeked at the blinds while I was having an intimate moment with the sticks, trying to figure out
what they call those. Peeping toms. Peeping toms.
He was a peeping tom today. Garçon was a peeping tom. You know. Don't ask me for a tip on the machine after you play peeping tom to me, Garçon. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit skip on that button right there, because you ain't getting nothing.
No tip.
You offended me, Garçon.
Got to do better. Come on now. And that's for all the cigar shop workers across the world. Know your clientele, know your customers, know when they having a moment, and move out the way, man. Watch out.
And you know, when they work in these spots, they don't really have to ever be a consumer, because they just buy while they at work. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole element that they've lost of what it feels like to be on the other end of that.
You're right about that. They got cigars whenever they want to grab them. They don't have to go through the process. Like you know what? I would still think that they would. I would want to, because I like the process. I really
think they go visit other shops.
Yeah,
probably. You know, with friends and stuff. But I'm just saying on a consistent day-to-day basis.
Consistency. Yeah. So they're out of practice with understanding how intimate that is for somebody who loves their cigars and trying to enjoy their time. So I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that 1,000%. Hey, so you got your My Father, you got the lounge exclusive. So me, I'm starting my year off with with Rocky Patel. I'm starting on a Rocky level. I got the 30th anniversary. If I'm not mistaken, it's a new drop. Don't know exactly when it was released, but definitely last year. It was a new release for last year, for 2005.
Kind of black looking stick you got there too.
Yeah, really basic on the band, so not much to it. So
okay,
not too crazy. Rocky Patel on the back, RP on the front. Just says 30th anniversary. They kept it real simple, real minimalistic, which is cool. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a minimalistic type of guy anyway, so it kind of rocks with me. Fancy bottle you got there. Is that glass?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he different. 2026 is different. This man, glass bottles, no longer plastic, right? None of them chemicals.
Nah, I don't do that, man. I don't need plastic melting in my drink. You know what I'm saying? Just water, nice filtered water there. You know.
That was a nice little subtle I'm different moment right there. I'm with it.
You know what I'm saying?
A little subtle, I'm different. I ain't gonna say nothing.
But I'm quiet flex, you know what I'm saying? Just keep your mouth shut, live your life, you know what I mean?
But it's different right now. Well, let me give you some details on my Rocky Patel, man. So for the 30th anniversary, it looks like they went Mexican and San Andreas on the wrapper. Origin Nicaraguan, binder Nicaraguan filler, Honduran and Nicaraguan. So we got a little mixed bag for the Rocky. The spice is nice, always a little peppery when it comes to Rocky, and I'm actually enjoying this one. Enjoying it so far. Enjoying the spice.
Okay. Yeah, I got a little spice on mine too. You know.
Yeah. So hey, look, man. So after your subtle flex, kind of made me want to go into my thought process, right? So
Mm-hmm.
after every year, we always kind of talk about what they, not necessarily us, but people, the new year, new me type of thing, right? Everybody goes
Mm-hmm.
into their resolutions. Hey, new year, new me. There's this new slogan that's out now of what I'm not going to be doing, or where I won't be going in 2026 is back and forth. I won't be going. What they say? Have you seen the little meme?
No.
3 places I ain't going is back and forth. I gotta find it. I can't remember it. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But a little cool little saying they try and do. You know what I'm saying? Everything's memeable nowadays. But it's no longer new year, new me. I had a moment. It was just last week, as a matter of fact. So my son, he's thinking about college now, and he has to go through write these essays and trying to figure out how to convey to these universities that, hey, look, I'm somebody you want, right? For his application process. So while he's talking to me about his essay, I'm thinking about the essay I had to write to get into college, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, let me see if I can find my essay just by chance, just by chance. And keep in mind, college for us was what? Several years ago.
Yeah,
Several
yeah,
years ago.
yeah. Yeah,
Couple
you ain't
decades,
got to
right?
give how
Couple
many
decades.
decades ago it
Yeah,
was, man. You know, just keep it
couple
simple.
decades. So I go to my email that I was using during that time, and I'm just trying to type in some stuff to see what I can find. I don't find the essay, but what I did find with that particular essay was a couple of other essays from when I was in college, and one's a bunch from when I was from my bio major, and then a bunch from my um, African American Studies major, and they're all around 2006 is when I found these papers I had to write, and I'm reading them, and I'm reading them, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like, and it kind of took me into this mindset of we really live like 3, 4, depending on how long you live, maybe even 5 different lifetimes. Like as
Yeah.
far as like just think about 20 years ago and then 20 years from now, like those are 3 different people. And I'm just trying to think about like what was I on when I was writing this? Like I couldn't even think about how to even write the way I was writing back then, and the stuff that I was writing about, especially all this biology stuff, and then going back to the African American study stuff, like this, the black militant that I was at that point, yeah, Black Power, and I'm going through all those philosophical concepts of African American history and this stuff. I'm like, what was I on, man? What am I talking about? Who is this guy? And it just gave me this snapshot look
And he
of
was a kid too. That's the funny thing
he
about
was
it.
a kid, 21 years old. Yeah, not even, no, 22 at that time, 22 years old. A lot of stuff I was doing, I was 18, 19 years old. It's like, who was that guy? Do I
Yeah.
even know that guy anymore? Yeah, that's me. That's the same name that's on that paper. But who was this person who had those thoughts and who was writing these words and was going through this process in college and all these things? And we're so far removed now that it feels like a whole totally different identity, whole totally different type of person
Yeah.
from what was then and who is now. And I'm just thinking about the whole process of how we get to from then or even beyond then, from when you were a teenager or adolescent to the person you are now. And then thinking about 20 years from now, maybe even 40 years from now. The other day you were talking about midlife crisis and where we are in life, and like, man, like this is what midlife crises are made of. When you get to a point of like, man, where did the time go? Where did life
Right.
go? Where's life going? And it's like so much happens in that time, even though it's a short time and it's a long time at the same time. But then in the grand scheme of things, it's still a short time, but it's all a blur. But then so much happens and so much changes in who we are over all this time. And it's like, man, but it kind of inspired me. And it's like not necessarily thinking about new year, new me, but I'm like new year, old me. Because I'm looking at some of those qualities that I possessed when I was at that age and stage that, man, I just needed to make sure that some of these made it along with me. Of course, we shed some things and we grow into the best person we can over time. But there's some things about ourselves when we were younger that made us who we are that we have to make sure that we keep with us. And it's like going back and trying to grab some of those things that was my identity back then It's like, why did I ever let that go? Why did I ever turn from that? Why did I ever forget this? You know, it's part of my foundation still, yes, but shouldn't some of this be a little bit more prominent in who I am today? So I'm thinking this whole process of New Year old me and going back and trying to extract some of those good things or some of those things that just made me unique of who I was back then and bringing them to the forefront and reviving some of those things for this 2026. That's where I'm kind of at right now.
You know, without knowing what those things are, I'm gonna give a quick guess on what it is and why those qualities left.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say, first of all, life.
Yeah.
Life takes those from you.
Yeah.
You lose fight as you get older, and as a young, wide-eyed, hopeful person, you lose hope in certain things also. And I think between the loss of fight and the loss of hope, certain characteristics that would have been great characteristics as a young person that may not have carried over into older portion of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely true. And a lot of my philosophy now, I was just thinking about it over the last few days, is, and when you're younger, you're seeing the world from this further. Like you're pulled back further from the reality of life, right? So you're able to dream and think and come up with these concepts and ideas because you're not so close to the BS, right?
Yeah,
And once
you
you get a
think
little
you
bit
can
closer,
affect the world more than you realize.
really more than you realize.
Once you get
As you
older,
more,
okay, I can affect these things, not as much as I thought I could. Like,
yeah, you get a little bit closer up to it as you age and grow. And he's like, I ain't got time for that. What am I gonna do? I can't change this. I can't affect that. Even if I did want to put so much energy in this is not gonna have any impact. You know what I mean? That's kind of how you start to think of it, or you start to have more reality shifts, and then or you get more like you mentioned. Hey, I got time for it because life happens, and I got to get busy. I got to work. I got to take care of these kids. Got to take care of my family. You know, I got things to worry about. You know
the
that I
fight
don't
becomes a
have
different
time.
fight.
Yeah, the fight becomes different. So it's not that you're not putting forth effort. It's effort gets redirected.
Yeah.
And you lose some of those things throughout the process, throughout time, because things just get redirected. That bandwidth gets consumed by so many other things, and then also on the fact of I can't change this. This isn't going to have that. You start telling yourself that the impact isn't going to be this, or you're going to be like, this doesn't matter anymore. Like the value that you hold on it doesn't really translate to where you are now. Or you get focused on something like, man, I just want some money, man. Let me just get some money.
Yeah.
Who cares about what this biome of this is that and the genetics of these? I just want some money, man. Come on now. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to understand what these Frederick Douglass papers were and what James Baldwin wrote in the Amen corner. I don't care about this stuff. And yeah, just give me some money. That's all I need, man.
It can
Gotta put
become
gas in
that.
this car.
And some things that you believe you don't believe anymore. You know what I'm saying? After life experience also. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you more than what your initial bubble in life taught you. You know what I'm saying? So your viewpoints expand. That's things, man. I don't know a lot of things from my past as far as like where I have an email thread I can go look back at.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have moments where I hear things or I'm reminded of things from my past, there are things you know you look at and you say, good job, Jared. And then there are things I look back and I say, I've done that different. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stings to hear that. But you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I did it.
But it's good. But it's good for I think this new generation is going to have a great advantage because we always talked about how like back when we were in college we didn't take pictures and stuff like that. We nah. But it'd be awesome to look back at those times and see who we were. That way we have a better understanding of who we are.
Yeah.
And just going back and seeing those things from that past, like that small little blip. Like I wrote so many papers and done so many assignments through the process of the 5 years that I spent in college. You know what I mean? That just seeing those few assignments that I had to do, it really brought me back into that moment of thinking about that time, space, and frame of life and who I was back then. Just that small little glimpse of just something of what I was doing just reminded me of the whole process. Like imagine having all this data that they have now to be able to capture, remember in the way that society is with everything you're doing is recorded. You're recording everything you do. You go get a cup of coffee, you record it. You go to a concert, you record it. You go to college, your first day, you record it. People chronicle so much of their life now that they'll have that great advantage to be able to go back and look at it. Like, would you like think about if we would have chronicled our first week in college?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
true.
important to be able to go back and look at that.
But this is the difference, right? I don't think it's going to be as good as you think because a lot of it's fake, what they do now. If we'd have chronicled it, it would have been real because we wouldn't have been doing it to get attention. It'd have just been the reality of the moment.
That part.
Yeah.
Because everything is staged now. The way they think it is staged. Like I really do despise seeing somebody set up their tripod and they walk into like the gym and then walk back out with their stuff and like, I just left the gym and I'm doing like, come on, man.
Really though, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You're gonna have all these false memories of what you were like in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not gonna say fake. I'm gonna say inauthentic.
Yeah, inauthentic. You know what I'm saying? Like I can look back at pictures with me and my wife, you know what I'm saying? And be like, man, we argued like 10 minutes before that, but we look happy in this picture. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still salty with her after when we took this picture.
A little false narrative with that. A little false narrative.
So I that tells me how people can have a misconception of what their life was like when they reflect on it, because they putting the good moments online, and even the people that's putting the bad moments online, it ain't always sincere. But sometimes it is.
But for the person who is putting these things online or chronicling or keeping it in their phones, what that would just have to take is you just being honest with yourself about the moment. Yeah, I captured that moment, but these are also the things that surrounded it. So not necessarily just to highlight that moment, but to highlight that
era,
that era, that time frame. So like what those things did for me wasn't just necessarily just that assignment that I wrote on, but it just reminded me of the time frame. It reminded me of the era. It reminded me of the moment. It reminded me of being stuck in the basement of the library and who that guy was when he had to grind to get that information. It reminded me of the apartment that we had. It reminded me of the dorm room. It reminded me of a lot of the things of that time frame and just how we had to walk life out in those moments. So like sometimes like when we talk about the past, we talk about certain interactions that we had together as a crew and stuff like that. But then so much other stuff gets lost in the process of us remembering some specific things. But you forget about all the other things that you also did. Yeah. And it's like, dang, reminding yourself of that, but then also remembering the whole entire moment, not just that little snapshot of everything and just thinking that's the moment of me being happy on the picture. But the fact that I did have the argument 10 minutes before we took that picture and everything else that happened around that same time.
Yeah. And sometimes that's the tough thing with the just nostalgia in general. You know what I'm saying? Is it takes you back to the good moments of an era, but you have to think about everything. Like, sometimes we talk about how good rap music was back then, but we had our complaints
too. Yeah, it was some trash too.
We had our complaints too. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to look back with glossy eyes and be like how great that was. And even back in the college days, we got a lot of great memories, but we weren't always happy either. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, grimy season wasn't a thing for no reason. That wasn't a slogan for no reason.
It was some tough moments. I remember us talking about the struggle and stuff back then too, though. You know what I'm saying? So you just got, like you said, you got to remember the whole thing, man. And I hope that this era is able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and not whitewash it with the performance antics of how they capture their moments now. Like the authenticity of how they go about setting up the tripod and I did this and this was the moment. Like, nah, just keep it honest, keep it true. Like chronicle your life the right way, so that way when you do go back and reflect it, you remember the whole thing the way that it should. That way you can pull out the good things. You can recognize the struggle that you had to overcome. You can recognize the hard parts, and you can make your improvements and adjustments based on those things. But yeah, but it took me back, man. It took me back and just said, you know what I'm saying, this new year, I want to go back and I want to extract some of those old things that I kind of just let go about who I am. Not necessarily things like that. I'm not going to go and be, probably not going to write a book on whatever black plight that we might have. I ain't gonna do
Yeah.
that, but I want to remember that guy. I want to know what was that guy thinking. What was he on? What was his
So I
approach?
take it.
What drove
I
him?
take it you were proud of that man when you saw,
Yeah,
what you read.
in totality, embarrassed in some points, but proud at the same time, because it did take me back to some low lights and then also some highlights. So like I just took in the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I did lose my financial aid. I did have to try to figure out a way about getting back and getting back into the university and reapproach. Sit back and dang, my GPA was garbage. But dang, how did I recover? How did I eventually overcome? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there were some lowlights I had to recognize. But it's like also some things that were great in those lowlights as well that I could learn from. And it's like, man, so I was proud, but at the same time, embarrassed. A little like, ooh, ooh, yeah, I do remember that. Dang, that was kind of
Done
gotta
that
be honest
better.
with myself, gotta be real with myself. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there's some things I can extract and like take hold to again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the way to be. Like I done got to a stage where I kind of like my oldest son, not my youngest, because he ain't gonna get it. But it's little stories I tell my oldest son sometimes, and he'll sit back and he'll be listening. He's like, Dad, you got so many stories, man. You live so much in your life. And I'm just like, well, you gotta think how old I am. This is over the
Yeah,
course of my lifetime, all these
yeah,
stories you hear from me. But and he kind of, I can see he kind of looks at these stories like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I'm
hmm
telling him like, well, I'm not always proud of all of these stories, and some of these you're gonna have your own set of stories too if you live once you live to my age. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a whole set of lifetime worth of stories. You may have more than I have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but it but it just is like you said. It's one of those things that you have to look at the good and the bad with it, man. And he's looking at them like super stories, you know what I'm saying? But to
yeah.
me,
They
I'm
are.
like, I'm not always, I don't feel good about all of them. And I don't say
Yeah,
them to feel good about all of them sometimes, So I look
yeah.
back at some of it like,
It's a story nonetheless, and it's a part of who you are. And it's a part of that somebody can grasp onto, especially your son, and look at it and dad did this, dad did that. Dad ain't here because of this and this, but also because of this and that. Like he overcame this, or he made a turn from that, or he walked into this, and this was great for him, and he took this and he accentuated it, and or he recognized a thing about himself, and I see how he was doing that back in the day. Now he's doing this now, and now I see this bridge from here to here. Like especially like
it connects the
with our kids,
story.
they're smart enough to put those things together. I know I did the same for my dad, and when he tells me his stories, and even now, I use his stories to kind of guide what I'm doing now in life. And I always kind of like measure myself up to my dad. Like, dang, when my dad was 30, it was 1990. This was this, and okay. So when I was 30, I'm like, okay, now this. I'm trying to like match my life up to his life, and then some of his stories that he told me, like some of
Yeah.
his highlights and his lowlights, and like I kind of measure myself up against him a lot of times. And dang, when my dad was 42, that was 2002. He had just retired from this and that, and blah 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 blah. And I put it all together. You know what I'm saying? So it's always still good to have that. It's good to have that
Yeah.
for him.
And I tell them that is a form of teaching in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of cases. Like I tell them, look, I tell you the things I tell you, son, because I have same thing my pops told me. I lived it. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me, but I
Mm-hmm.
lived it. But we all think it's different when we get there. But it's different parameters around it, but it's still the same
They're the
core
same core. Yeah,
situations. Yeah,
yeah,
so I try to tell them, look, I'm telling you so you can learn from it, and I'm also telling you because when I was young, it's interesting, and it's always interesting knowing people's story because everybody got one.
yeah.
I love talking to older people and hearing them talk about their teens and 20s and stuff because it's hard to look at them like that sometimes because you only know
Mm-hmm.
them for being
As they
an
are. Yeah,
adult on up.
yeah.
But it's just like I love hearing it because it tells me, like you said, it connects to this bridge to who they are now, and you see how they got to reach this point.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do that for him, man, and hopefully, it'll help him. But at the end of the day, who knows, man? But
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
say, you gotta take the good and the bad. You gotta be proud of it. That's how you got to where you are today and who you become as a
Yeah.
person.
So my piece of advice for him and for my kids too is own your story. Own your story. And then when that story is as it's being written and those chapters continue to fill and they pass and you go all the way back to chapter 2 and chapter 3, you're on chapter 40, but you go back to chapter 6. Go back to those chapters. That's where I am now. Like this year for me, not a resolution thing because I don't like to do resolutions, but it's maybe like a year of rediscovery for me.
Yeah.
That's how I'm choosing to approach it. Of like how like my mind state is after that moment was just rediscovery, and that'll hopefully make me better for where I'm trying to go. Because I have some things about myself right now that I've realized that I dislike. I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I would like to think that I'm a better human now than I was then. I like to think I'm a better man now than I was then. A better person overall now than I was then. But then there's some things that I don't like where I am now. Like that ambition that I used to have, I don't have the same drive and ambition. But should I still have it? Life is not over for me yet. You know what I'm saying? So the creative part of me, my life is not over yet. You know, the thoughtful person of me, my life is not over yet. I can still go back and recognize those things of who that guy used to be and how he got him here. That I can still bring them and don't let that stuff go to the wayside. Regain that stuff. Become better through that stuff.
Right.
That black belt that was, you know what I'm saying, getting beat up on and beating up on people too. There's still some things about that guy that still should exist today. Don't forget that because I can use that to be better for tomorrow. You know, like I can still pull some things, and I want to do that. So I want to rediscover myself and just relearn me, get to know myself again, get to know that 21-year-old. We always just talk about 21-year-old DVR or JA,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And we use it in jest and joke. But now I'm thinking about it differently. Like, hey, what would 2003 DVR be like? What would he say to me now? What would I say to him? What kind of conversation would we had if we were sitting down having a cigar and talking and having a conversation? You know, rediscover.
The funny thing about that is we, like you said, we say it in jest, but it's a real thing. And you never know if the young version of you would totally agree with everything that the older version has become. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But the older version knows better, but there would be a little bit of this and a little bit of this.
It'll be a class. You're like, dude, what are you like? The younger version of me like, man, what are you doing? You could be doing so much more. No, do this, do that. But the older version like, man, you don't know. You don't know. Hey, but life is this and life is that. Hey, look, youngster. Let me tell you about this. But the younger version like, but what? But hey, man, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see that kind of conversation happening between, you know what I'm saying, 42-year-old me and 21-year-old me.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting conversation. I like to be a fly on the wall watching me and me talk to each other.
Would it lead to more argument or more getting along?
Oh, that's a good question. I was gonna try to answer it. I thought I was gonna have a quick yes. Like I thought in my mind, like, yeah, they get along. But I'm like, nah, they would bump heads. But nah, they would understand each other. Nah. Cause then I gotta think about who was I when I was 21.
Yeah.
And then who I am now. I'm a little more grumpy now. Then I was a little bit more like I could be more pissed off back then. I don't get pissed off now. I'm just more grumpy now.
Yeah.
So like I had a little bit more fire back then. It's like, you know, I get mad and I don't necessarily get as mad now, but I get grumpy. Get to a mood now. So it's like get stubborn now. So it's like that part would clash. It's like I can see them bickering back and forth now.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. I mean, ultimately, like you said, you got to embrace your journey and be proud of it, man. But I think the same thing. I don't know that the two would get along quite as well as they think. There would be parts that get along, and then there would be parts that like, no, you're wrong. No, I can't be wrong. I'm right. You know, and it would just be this.
Yeah, just constant back and forth clashing. Just looking at me, looking at that guy with the do-rag and the and dingy gray sweater with the dirty K Swiss on. I'm like, man, shut up.
Hey, but look, I don't think me today argues with me back then that long. I think me today go back and forth for a few minutes, and I'm like, you got it, whatever you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna find out though. You gonna become me. So when you become me, you learn then. But I think I let them have it after a certain point. Like, you got it, bro.
Like, all right, dog, you got it. Now I would probably go back and forth with myself for a good little bit.
To try to save him, probably.
Yeah, to probably either save him or then me try to teach. Because that's just one thing I would do. Like I would get long-winded as far as like trying to, nah, man, you don't know, but nah, man, you don't know this, you don't know that. And I would try to teach myself. But then the younger me would try to warn myself and like, nah, man, you ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? Just off of being naive about life. And then being older, being more of a know-it-all, not necessarily know-it-all, but treat myself like, dog, I know more than you. Like, what are you talking about? I got to prove this point to you. I got to drive this point home.
Yeah.
I can't get like that a lot. I got to drive this point home. I see myself doing that, you know what I'm saying, often with my family. So I can see myself doing that to me.
You know why I think I wouldn't argue with me? It's because, first of all, I know younger me is going to have too much confidence in what he can do. And older me is going to look back. There's something I realize. People talk about having regrets. I don't have regrets because I think I did the best I could in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I think that there's nothing I can teach younger me because younger me's he's going to do what he's going to do in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because he's too full of belief that he can get it done. You know what I'm saying? And he just ain't, that's the best he got. He ain't capable.
Do you think there's any moments in life that you think the older you would have told you, nah, you ain't got to worry about that, or you should do that? Like, you don't think you would give yourself any different advice to, not necessarily regret, but older me
I
would have
would
told
give it to me. But if young me does what I think he's going to do with it,
you good with that. It is what it is.
I'm done. I wouldn't fight him on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna lose that fight. Because young me listened to older people, but and I took it in and I considered it, and it was always in the back of my mind, but I always thought, but I'm me, I can figure it out. I'll get it done. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That makes sense, but I'm about to prove you wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I over believed too much confidence, you know what I'm saying? Like that it was gonna work out.
I got it. Yeah.
I got this, man. Yeah, I get it, man. I get what you're saying, but I got this. Like, and then afterwards,
older me would told younger me to go on that Miami trip.
You say what?
Said older me would have told younger me go on that Miami trip.
Yeah. Older me would have showed up to that conversation and be like, hey, listen to him. Listen to him. You're going to feel stupid later on, so just listen to him.
You going to give up that Miami trip for these boxes at Family Dollar, really? $6.15 an hour, that's what you're going to do? Okay.
Right. And that was through Juan, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have been like, you ain't gonna be talking to Juan later on, bro. You can hurt his feelings. It's all good, man.
Yeah, hey, man, go ahead and quit that job. You ain't gonna want to be there that long. You good?
Hey, look, man. But for you, I mentioned regrets. You have any regrets when you look back at younger you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like, I would say regrets, yes, but how do I want to phrase this? Do I regret my regrets? I don't regret my regrets because I still end up here eventually, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I do regret not taking advantage of some things because I feel like things could have played out better and I could have ended up better. Like, we still ended up at a good spot. Still good. Like, we're not sitting here on this show complaining about life because life is just terrible. Like, we have pretty good lives. I say so myself.
Yeah.
So can I say I regret anything? But at the same time, do I know that there could have been more advantages I could have taken advantage of, like going on a Miami trip? I should regret not going on that trip. Should have been down there in Miami having a ball with y'all. But maybe I would have got in trouble. Maybe I would have been the one to get locked up down there.
Never know. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, so like, you know, never mind. I'm gonna say something else, but never mind. Never mind. But I can't say I do have controlled regrets. I got to find a phrase for it. I gotta discover a phrase for this because
Is it just you simply wish there were things you know you
things I
could have
could
done
have
better,
done
and you wish you
different,
would have taken advantage of those
taken
things?
advantage of, or done things differently, or thought deeper through the process, but not an overall complete regret to where like, man, I really screwed that up. Because I still end up here. You know, I still end up in a pretty decent spot in life at this point so far. You know, not doing bad at all. But at the same time, I do regret some decisions. I do regret some choices or making some actions or whatever that I wish I didn't do and wish I could redo. You know what I'm saying? So like I can say yes, but then at the same time I can say no.
But you know, I think what you're saying is natural. I feel that same thing, but I can't necessarily call it a
Regret.
full-on regret per se
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm saying. You got to find another term for it. But yeah, so I guess if you just need that regret, then I would say no. Then
or maybe we can say regrets. Maybe we'll just call it regrets, but is there anything that you would change then? We'll say that like if you could actually go back and relive it, would you? Like I don't know. I guess I just look at it from the point of view I did the best I could in the moment. I don't think it
yeah,
would have played out any differently than that. I don't think I
yeah,
was equipped to do it any different. That's the story. But yes, I look back now and say older me would play that totally different than
hmm
younger me did, but
yeah,
younger me
yeah.
was not going to
Because
do
I
anything
feel like
but that.
I feel like I have made some choices that have shifted my trajectory. I can
Yeah.
definitely, honestly, truly say that I know for sure that I made some choices in life that shifted my trajectory. Now, if I would have went this trajectory, what would have life become? I don't know. Would I be more happier there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Might, maybe not. So I can say there are things that if I go back that I for sure would have done differently. Maybe I would have waited for some things. Maybe I would have said no to this. Maybe I would have said yes to those things. But at the same time, would that make me a happier individual? I don't know. Like just more like case in point, like when I first joined the military, um, I got an opportunity to go to one of the schools that all you do for a year and a half to 2 years is train to take the MCAT to become a military doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a major. She was one of the nurses that was on the floor I was working on, and she was advocating for me, and she was trying to put some things together for me. And all I had to do to her is just say yes, I want to do it. She was like, just say yes, we'll make it happen. We'll get your packet, and I'll champion it for you, and I'll drive the ship for you. But me at this point, instead, I'm new to the military. I just moved from North Carolina all the way to El Paso, Texas. I'm 30 years old. It was already a big enough shift. I don't know if I'm ready for another shift just that quick. So my answer was no. So here I am, a staff sergeant in the military 12 years later. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas, doing this job. But if I would have took that angle and went here and went to Bethesda, Maryland, and trained to become a medical doctor, and then I do this and I go over here and I'm this MD and blah 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 blah, would I be happier doing that? I don't know. Would life be better doing that? But can I say that maybe I do regret not taking advantage of that opportunity? I can say that. But what will life be? Would I be happier there? Would I be happy doing that? Would my family still be intact the way it is? What would be going on in life if I would have took that route? But I've had the experiences I've had from then to now. You know, so and there's several of those situations I can keep going back and back and back through life and say if I would have took this turn, would that have been the better route? If I would have took this turn, that would have been the better path. Don't know. But on the
Right.
surface, man, being a doctor, that's a great idea. You should have definitely took that. Dude, what were you thinking? You could have made so much more money. You could have been an officer by now and doing this, and you'd have been 8 years into your MD program. You could be getting out right now and going and be a doctor on the civilian side or become a government employee position and doing whatever. But
Yeah.
what would life be? Would it be better? Would it have not been better? Don't
Yeah.
know.
One thing we know for
But I can
sure,
say,
it'd have been different, but it
I can kind
doesn't
of,
equate to better necessarily. So
hmm yeah, but I can kind of say I regret it a little bit because it could be better, it could be so much better. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? The last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of struggle of, not making as much money and being able to do some the things I want to do and buying myself into some financial freedom a lot sooner could have been better. I could
Yeah.
be ready to retire now. and so much money in the bank, or not. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
You remember that video I sent you? Hey, that would have been my life if I would have made this decision. That would have been me.
Hey man, I'd have been a millionaire by now if that was my guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but you know what though? And interesting enough, man. And we got to wrap up. So I do want to end on this. When you say that would have been you, it's always interesting how, as you mentioned, we become different people through different stages of life, and it's you never know how being a different person affects the people in your life who stays and who goes also. You know what I'm saying? So through each iteration of ourselves, maybe that version doesn't gel as well with the people in our lives. You know what I'm saying? So people could come and go if you become a different person. So it's always cool to see who stays throughout each process and each stage. And it's also, cool to think this person had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just we're not gonna do this anymore. We're too different, so
yeah.
But that's life is funny that way though.
Yeah, man. I 1000% agree with you on that. Yeah, that's it, man. It's 2026. How are you approaching life? With me, I'm definitely approaching it with a cigar. And we can approach it with these reviews too, if you like.
Let's do that.
First
Man, let's go ahead. I'm gonna jump in with the My Father's Lounge exclusive. This is definitely a loungy cigar. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely that. It feels like something I would be in a nice big cushy leather chair, with somebody twinkling on the piano keys and stuff over there, singing in a smoky jazz bar. You know what I'm saying? Or something while this is going. So with that description, you automatically think this must be a great cigar. You know what I'm saying? But let me get into it. So as far as my tasting notes of this cigar, I think this cigar I picked up on some cocoa, picked up on a little coffee. Very creamy cigar, very creamy. Medium stick. I'd say medium body stick. Nice aroma on the smoke. Nice, good smoke coming off of it. Nice color on the smoke and all that. It was got some cedar notes. I also picked up on this. I picked up on some spice, like spicy spice, but also what felt like cooking spices in the mix also. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of that also. And I don't know. Did I mention cocoa? A little cocoa. I feel like a little cocoa in the mix too. But yeah, those are pretty much the majority of the tasting notes I picked up on. I'd say it has a good construction on the stick. Everything, good draw on it. Everything was good about it. It was a good cigar. Is it the type of cigar that is going to go into the range of a great cigar for My Father's? I don't know if it falls into a great cigar, but definitely a cigar I would smoke again. It's one of them sticks where I would pick this up again, but My Father's got so many I pick up again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I pick it up over other ones, but if I'm looking through it and I'm like, oh, the lounge, I'll take that one today. It's one of those type cigars.
Yeah. So good addition to the
and
lineup.
they got it as one of the options.
Yeah.
Get that.
Okay. Yeah. So good addition nice addition to the lineup.
It's a great addition to the lineup, but it falls in the mix. I'm gonna just say in the mix with all the other cigars in the lineup also. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be describing a bunch of other cigars in the My Father's lineup also with what I'm saying about it. You know what I'm saying? So even though this is called the lounge exclusive, I don't know if this description is exclusive to this cigar as much as it's exclusive to them as a whole and what they do. So needless to say, 1 to 5, this cigar goes into the 4s, but I'm having a hard time of deciding where I put it in the 4s. I don't know what a good average My Father's 4 is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to go 4-1, 4-2, somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling good. It's the beginning of the year. I go 4-2. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. Shout out to My Father with a 4-2. I mean, I think that's fair. You say a solid 4 stick. I was thinking 4 flat. By the way you were explaining it, but hey, 4-2
could be 4 flat. You know what I'm saying? But what would you say is an average good cigar from My Father's? Is it a 4 flat even, or is it
4 flat? I mean, from my personal experience,
yeah,
that's what I usually would lean to. And but that's me.
So what's a great my father's for you?
4 or 5. I don't think I've
4 or 5?
ever had my father's that went past a 4 or 5.
I agree with you on
But
that.
they're just so consistent in the 4-0, 4-1, 4-5. They're just all in that bang bang bang
Bunched
bang.
in that area, right?
Yeah. They just do them
That's
right
what
in
I
there.
felt.
Nothing below it, but nothing higher than it. Just right there, right in that
Yeah.
pocket,
Yeah.
right in that pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like it. So I'm gonna look for that one. I gotta look for that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm always down to try my father's, and that lounge exclusive. I haven't had it yet, so I gotta grab me one.
If I'd have gave you this in Miami as your first my father's, you'd have felt the same way about my father's.
Yeah. I can believe. I can believe it. All right, man. So let me go into this Rocky Patel, man. Rocky Patel 30th anniversary. It should have been a special stick. It should have been like top tier, top notch. Price point. I can't remember how much I got this one at. I want to say it was about 20. I want to say about 20 something. About 20
Right.
something. So not a super expensive anniversary type of cigar, but it did smoke very well. Very smooth as far as what Rocky does, right? So Rocky always throws some pepper in there, very pepper in the very beginning. The pepper does kind of chill out as you finish up that first third, going into the second third, which becomes more like a nutmeg type of spice flavor type of deal. So I got nice black pepper in the very beginning, dialing back into an easy nutmeg type of spice. I got I got cocoa notes as well very early. So as it transitions from that spice to from pepper to nutmeg, some cocoa in the mix right there. I usually look at Rocky as more of an oily type of stick. They usually do more oily wrappers. This one had a wrapper that reminded me more of like a Padron-esque dryness. So I actually did like it though. I liked it like that. So shout out to Rocky with doing that. I don't think they do a lot of box press sticks either, if I'm not mistaken. This one's box press with the more dry type of wrapper, Maduro wrapper. Kind of lean me into that like that nuttiness of like your pecan, like a pecan. I don't know which one you like to say, pecan. But it got that pecan, cocoa, pepper in the beginning, easing out to nutmeg, and it kind of stayed right there in that realm as I was smoking this one. The aroma was really great, nice aroma, probably one of the better ones that Rocky does when it comes to aroma. Rocky never really stands out to me when we talk about aromatic cigars. But this one did very well when it came to aroma. My atmosphere is really, really nice. I don't know if it's because I haven't smoked in this environment for a couple of weeks, but maybe that's it. You know what I'm saying? Not being outside and you know what I'm saying on the patio, but it just filled the room and it was just really, really nice with the aroma. So shout out to Rocky for this one. Really great cigar. I would say that I did not start my year off with a bad stick. I started off with a top-notch cigar, top-notch flavors. Rocky Patel, didn't expect anything less than good to great or great to good, however you want to phrase it. But to get this thing a rating out of 5, how do we want to put this one? Not his best stick. I would think they would have done better for a 30th anniversary if you're going to do it that way. But you got the decade out there. You got the what's the other, the emerald that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
The what did I say, the conviction? I said conviction.
No, you didn't.
Conviction. You got the decade that's out there. That's really. Then you got the year of the snake one that they did. I think I put that one in my top 5 if I'm not mistaken. I can't even remember my top 5 anymore. It's not there. It's not there. It's right underneath there. So it's like a 2A when it comes to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stick. I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 4. 4.0. 4.0. I just feel like it could have done just a little bit more. But 4 flat. 4 flat. I don't want to be too generous. Ain't gonna be too generous. Gotta be hard on Rocky.
There you go. And maybe I was too generous today, but you know what I'm saying? We flip-flopped a little bit, you know, but it's all good. Hopefully I don't regret this when I got to go figure out my year in review.
Where's our great sticks? We don't want to, hey, take that 4 and take it to the bank.
All right, that's what it is, man. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to 2026's first episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. Keep your cigars high And don't forget the old version of you. They ain't totally bad, man. Take some good stuff from them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
We
yeah.
out.